Hey everyone, it's Sim here from the Fusing Shop, and in today's video we're going to be making this guy. Hello everyone, it's Sim here from the Fusing Shop. And as you saw in the introduction, we're going to be making a cool spirally swirly kind of marble. I don't know what you really call it, but it's pretty cool looking. And this is actually the second time of me doing this audio. The first time my microphone was muted, and when I had 6 minutes of audio already recorded, and I thought I was doing pretty good. So hopefully I'll do even better the second time doing this. Right now I am cleaning up the end of my punty and getting that ready to. I'm gonna coat it with the clear, not clear. I'm coating the clear with color right now. And someone in my previous video asked, how did you coat the, they wanted to see how I coated the color rods with clear. Well, pretty much it's doing this exact thing that I'm going to do now, except it's going to be reversed. So I'm going to be taking that colored rod and coating the clear rod. And in my previous video, I coated the colored rod with clear. So this one, this is how it was done, except reverse. And pretty much all I'm doing is I'm keeping the clear glass out of the flame. I know it looks like it's in the flame right now, but it is to the side. And just running that bead of color down the glass. And just flame cutting and going back up to the top, smushing that down where it's needed. And you want to heat ahead of your rod. This way the glass stays hot and continues to flow smoothly for you. So keep that in mind as you're laying down your color, that you need to heat ahead of it so the glass continues to move, or else it'll go stiff and harden and it won't be going anywhere, people. So now I'm just using the paddle and the marver and heating all those lines in until they're nice and smooth. Get it all nice and smoothed out. And making that look nice and beautiful. And when I'm done, this is going to look like one solid color rod, even though it has the clear underneath it. And this is great because it really stretches your color. And these color rods are expensive, and you want to try to get as much use out of them as possible. So this is a great way, because what I pretty much did was take that 5mm colored rod, and I just made like a 12mm version of it by coating the clear with it. And now we're just going to roll it on our marver, get everything nice and smooth. And again, it just stretches your color and gives you extra color, which is pretty awesome. And there we go. That's what it looks like. You should not see any lines or anything when you're done with this. It should be perfectly smooth. And I did forget to say welcome, so if this is your first time here, welcome to our glass-blowing, flame-working, lamp-working, whatever you want to call it, channel, where, I try to do at least a weekly video for you guys. And if this is, not your first time here, then welcome back. Thank you so much for supporting me and giving me inspiration to make more of these videos. So thank you guys so much for that. Now what I'm doing is I'm just peeling off any extra clear that is on the end there, because I don't want that clear to show up in my final piece. When I did coat it, I did not coat the very top of the clear rod. So that was still exposed, and I did not want that showing in my final piece. So I just peeled that off. Now I'm going with our traditional elbows down position, keeping that glass angled down and letting gravity pull that glass down into the ball shape. And I'm going to go ahead and start shaping the first half of the marble. When the glass is about the size you want, you could go to your neutral position, which is where your elbow, your piece is parallel to your workbench. And then take it out of flame, let it harden up for a little bit before you go into the marble mold. Do not go directly into the mold or you will deform the glass. So give it a few seconds before you go in. It'll still move, don't worry. And then just rotate it in the mold and rotate that mold as well. or rotate your handle, whichever one you're more comfortable with, or do both, whatever makes you happy. And that is what the first half looks like. Looking pretty good. This marble came out really gorgeous, and I highly recommend trying this out. It's a lot of fun to do. What I'm going to do now is cold seal, put a cold seal punty on the one side so I can take off the other. So I'm just getting that rod nice and hot and rolling it on the marble to make it nice and pointy. You can see there's a nice point there. It's a little bit blurry, but you get the idea. And when you make your cold seals, the reason I make it pointy like that is to have as little surface area as possible touching the glass. And that's what you want, because when you break these cold seals off, you don't want it to leave a whole chunk of clear behind. You want it to leave as little residue as possible. So that is the reason I like to sharpen these up. And if you are doing a bigger piece, you will need more surface area, so keep that in mind. You cannot use a sharp little punty every time to do this. My marble is not going to be huge, and it's not going to be super heavy, so I can do this with this piece. Next step is to flame cut off the rod that is in my right hand. And if you've seen my videos before, you already know how to do the traditional flame cut, which is to rotate the glass, holding it in the same place in the flame, and gently pull your hands apart and keep that glass in the flame so the flame does the cutting. You do not pull the glass out of the flame when you do a flame cut. Very important. You make sure the glass stays in the flame and the flame does the cutting. This way it does not make any little thin stringers, because those stringers can be extremely dangerous if they break or get on your work surface or in the air. It's not good stuff, people. So please make sure that you always flame cut in the flame. Very important. I've seen like people lose control of the glass and it dropped to the table and made an extremely fine stringer, and you have to be very careful if that happens. So yeah, just things to keep in mind as you know, you guys do your flame cuts. Always make sure you do it in the flame or at the edge of the flame. Okay, that being said, back to what we're doing, the project here. Right now, I'm not gonna fully shape the marble, but I'm kind of gonna get like 80% of the marble shape done. I'm not gonna do a whole 100%, because what I'm gonna be doing next is laying 2 stringers down on this marble, and then we're going to punty up to the opposite ends, gonna twist that, then we're gonna punty again to the other opposite ends and twist that. So it's gonna create this whole twisty, spirally kind of thing that you guys saw in the beginning. So yeah, but you really want to start with like close to the basic marble shape. It doesn't have to be 100% rounded off, because you're going to twist it all up and, you know, manipulate it anyway. But even close, kind of like there, I have like a bean shape going. You know, that's already pretty close to, you know, where you want it to be. Next, I'm going to be taking that stringer. I pulled a white stringer to do this. The white and this, I forgot what color blue this was, but it's kind of like a sparkly blue. I don't know if it's like the, what is that one called? Like blue leprechaun or something, but it's like a sparkly blue color, which just looks amazing. And my apologies for my didymium lens on the GoPro. It continued to slip off, and I could not like keep fixing it because it's, you know, in front of the flame, and I wanted to get this made. So I did not fix it, and my apologies for that, people. These things just happen. This is, you know, I don't have a whole crew of people helping me. It's just me and the cameras that I set up around me. So just doing the best I can. Okay. So next I am taking a stringer, and I'm going to go with a pinpoint flame because I want to kind of be accurate with this stringer. I want it to stay and just go one nice lap around the marble. And I want it to kind of be nice and kind of be a little bit neat, but not super neat. Good. That's good enough for my purposes. And I'm just going to lay another one on the other side. And if the glass is moving too fast for you, move a little bit out of the flame. And if it's moving too slow, you can either move a little bit closer or just go slow. There's nothing wrong with going slow, people. Slow and steady wins the race, right? Okay, so now I have my two lines of white laid down. And I was just straightening them out a little bit. It got a little bit crooked. And I wanted to just make it a little bit straighter. So that's what I'm doing with my tweezers here. Just heating and smushing it back to where I want it to go. And there's what it looks like. You got your little marble there with your two white lines. And we are ready to move on to the next step. So if you stuck with me this far in the video, I want to say a big thank you so much. It is, a task for me to make these videos, and I do it because this is something that's fun for me, and I know people enjoy watching this, so thank you so much for your support. I am opening up an Etsy shop to sell things that I make, so you can find a link in the description below. If you guys are interested in buying any of my stuff, then by all means, you can go ahead and do that now. And I really appreciate you guys subscribing and liking my videos and commenting. I do have a super busy schedule, and this is kind of like my hobby. So I do glass in my free time. I am a father of 6 wonderful children who are, still young in age. So it is busy. It is busy here, people. So, but I still try to do an upload every week. So yeah, I just really appreciate you guys and all your support and kind comments and everything. And if you guys could keep doing that for me, then that would be awesome. Also share with your friends. And if you think my videos suck, then share it with people you don't like. So back to the project now. I attached two cold seal punties to both sides of the marble. And I did change the axis as I was talking. And now I'm just getting some heat into the core of that, because that's where what's going to get move last when we go to twist this up. The sides are going to twist nice and easy because, it's thinner glass there. So that's not going to be a problem. So just keep your heat focused on the middle and, get it juicy, juicy hot. I'm moving it down into the hotter area of the flame. This way to get some serious heat in there and to get that glass to start to move, because right now I'm trying to twist it up and we want those middle lines to start twisting too. So that is the ultimate goal on what we're going to do at this step in this process. So just heat that up, get it nice and juicy hot until that glass starts to move. And when it gets nice and hot, we're going to add some gentle twists to these lines. And in the meantime, while I am heating and twisting, let's do a dad joke. This will be the dad joke section of this video. And the joke is, how did the hipster burn his tongue? He drank his coffee before it was cool. Hipster and cool. I like that one. I feel like I'm kind of a hipster too, so I could relate. So let's do, okay, so the glass is starting to move now. You can start to see those twists starting to take shape. And it's like a nice hot ball of fire going on there. There we go, looking good, getting those spirals in there. And at this point, it's your choice if you want to switch the axes and, do another twist, or if you're completely happy with the way this marble looks right now, then by all means, go ahead and complete your project. Make that your project. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. This is just, showing some stuff that I like to do. And I am by all means not a glass artisan. I just like to, work with glass and make stuff, and it's just fun for me to show what I picked up. So yep, you can see how that's looking so far. I'm going to crack off one of those cold seals. And I'm going to go ahead and show it to the camera again. I don't know why I showed it twice, but I guess because I thought it looked good. So showing it to you guys again. And we're going to go ahead and cold seal punty to that other side now. There we go, getting the glass back on. It kind of looks like a football now. Looking like a little football because that's where those little pieces, I pulled it out a little bit when I twisted it up before, just to make the core a little bit thinner. And I'm going to do the same thing when I heat up this one because now it's even thicker in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and heat up keep that heat in the middle and gently just pull my hands apart when the glass starts to move just to thin it out a little bit and then start to twist it up. So that is what I'm going to be doing now. I did leave you guys timestamps below for easy reference points in the video. And I always like if I watch a video to know what's know what's going on. If I want to skip around, you guys have the options to do that. So, yeah, just go ahead, heat that up, keep rotate. And here it is, people. Just keep heating and rotating at this point. Heating and rotating. And I've been having an issue lately with my shoulders being extremely tight. So if anyone knows any shoulder stretches or anything, I've been like stretching them that I just feel how tense and tight they are. And when you have your arms out in front of you for an extended period of time, you feel like that tension and tightness. So if anyone has any good exercises that I could do or stretches or anything like that, please leave them in the comments below. And I would greatly appreciate it. And my shoulders and back would greatly appreciate it too. So, right. So back to what I was doing. Sorry, little bit of a brain freeze there going on. Now you can see I'm starting to twist that up, or at least pull it out anyway. And then start to twist it up. Again, when you work with thicker glass, it takes it longer for the core to get hot and longer for things to happen. So you just have to be patient, keep heating and rotating, and it'll start to move eventually. And there we go, it's starting to move, and you can see those other twists starting to form. And this is up to you what you want to do with this. It's up to you if you want to make it super twisty or make it not so tight and a little bit loose. It's all your preference and what you think looks good. There's no right or wrong when you're doing this, as long as you're working in a safe manner. So do what you think looks good. And, other people probably think it looks good too. And that's what my blob looks like. It's looking like a big, messy blob right now. But we all know the end of the story. It's not going to look like that forever. And again, this is just a good life lesson for people who have a lot of stuff going on in their lives. I know I sure do. And I'm sure everyone else does too. Even though things look like a mess and look crazy, just a little bit of work on them and a little bit of work on yourself, and things will start to fall into place. Just like this marble is going to start to fall into place for us. I actually saw a very inspirational speech by Jim Carrey, which I'll leave in the description below. It was just absolutely amazing. And not something you expect from a guy like Jim Carrey, but I thought it was like really great. So I'll leave that for you guys to give a watch to after this video. And it's just he was just talking about life and not letting people get you down, and just pushing and being you. You gotta be you. Like, that's one thing that I do. Like, this is who I am. This is how I talk in normal life. I know I'm not super eloquent and super, high energy or anything, but this is like the real me. So this is how I talk to people who I know. This is how I talk on camera. This is just the way it goes. This is not a personality that I have created. You have, just plain me talking to you about glass. So this is the real deal here, people. I work out of my garage in New Jersey, and if you guys want to come by and melt some glass with me, if you're around, by all means, you guys are welcome to come by and do that. So anyway, so you can start to see that that has melted down beautifully. And now I'm going to start rounding it out in the marble mold and start to shape it into our final marble. So all it takes is a little work, and things just start to come together for you. And now I'm just going to go into the mold again, rotate, 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 and get that nice and smooth. Someone asked me in my previous video any tips and tricks for shaping the marble. So couple things. One, only heat one side of the marble at a time. Do not heat up the whole thing. It will be very hard to round out if you heat up the whole mass of glass and think that you're going to get it round. Heat one side at a time. Practice using clear glass first before you do anything with color. And make sure you can make a perfect sphere with clear before you move on to anything else. I know it's a pain and it's not fun, but it is necessary to learn the process. And you can just see that those colors are gorgeous. I just love the way this piece came out. It looks even better in real life. Like this does not even like do it justice. So yeah, working with clear glass. Like take like a 12 or 10 millimeter rod. It's not something too hard to work with, but still has enough bulk that it's not going to be super drippy on you when you work with it. And here I lost the marble. My cold seals were too cold. And sometimes, you really should flash your cold seals every now and then, because now I'm scrambling to grab the marble with my tweezers. And this is why you always work over your workbench, because you never work over your lap. You do not want that falling on your lap. That would be not good, people. So always crack off your cold seals over your work surface where it is safe and can be contained. Mine is like very rough, so usually the marbles don't roll too far when they pop off like that, and it does happen. I mean, just grab with the tweezer, pick up the punty you were using, and just reattach and continue from there. And now we're just going to shape the second half. Sometimes you do need to switch to a different axis when you shape a marble. If it's not rounding out, don't just keep switching back and forth. You might need to, change your punty angle. So depending on your situation, but normally you could just do one and one, shape one side, then shape the other, and that's pretty good for most projects. So now again, I'm only heating up half of the marble, even though it looks like everything is red hot. It's not. I only have the very tip of the glass in the flame, and only heat, that radiant heat heats up to, about midway or so. You do not want to heat up the whole mass. You don't want the whole mass moving. I was listening to some grooving tunes while I was making the marble. Listening to music is nice when you're doing this, because sometimes you could be doing this for a while. You can be making the same thing. Even I'm just looking at the time here. It's over 20 minutes already that I've been doing the video. So yeah, do something that relaxes you and gets you in a good mood when you do this, because when the glass doesn't work in your favor, you're going to get pissed off. So just keep that in mind. Try to be relaxed going in. Know that things might not work out for you. Your glass may crack into a bazillion pieces. And that's okay. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes someone works 50 hours on a piece only to have, a crack. It's just the nature of glass. And there we go. Cut into the other camera, and that looks beautiful. Wowee. I am impressed. I impress myself sometimes. But I'm kidding. It did come out nice, but and a lot of times anything you put together with glass always comes out beautiful. So now last step is to just melt down that scar mark from cracking off that cold seal. Just angle your torch down if you can, and heat both sides and roll it around the mold to make sure you do not have any little spots left, because the last thing you want is, after you anneal this thing for like 4 hours, is to, roll it around in your hand and say, uh-oh, I left a little bit of extra glass on, or uh-oh, there's a dent, or uh-oh, it's not perfectly round, or whatever. So just while you still have control over it and it's not super hot, I mean, not super hot, not anneal, just go ahead and double check it. And here's the final marble. Came out pretty cool. Thanks again for sticking with me throughout this whole video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time.